Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you with a video on some recent books that I was able to buy over the last few weeks. This is kind of a part two to Monday's video. I wanted to kind of split this up so that the video didn't get too long. I think I was just under half an hour on the last one, and this one will probably be right around there too, because I got a problem with liking to talk, but oh well. So anyway, hadn't done a lot of videos over the last month or so, and do apologize for that, but I'm going to try to get on a regular schedule again. I had some hints from my friend Peg over at the History Shelf saying, yeah, we've been missing you in your videos. So yeah, here I am. It's one of those things, BookTube, where I don't like to be fake. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not videoing it. And so I like to do my videos when I feel like doing my videos. And I am not one to give a fake personality. It bothers me. And there's people that, do that, and I just don't like to do that. So when I'm not feeling it, I just don't video. I don't record. I know I can't do that with everything in life. Sometimes you got to fake it to make it. I get that. But this is one of those where you guys are not around me every day other than through the video. So I want you to get the true me when I do, present something to you. So anyway, I'm rambling, but here we go. Like I said, I got some new books here that I wanted to share with you. And without further ado, here we go. Sorry, peeling off a sticker there. Anyway, so recently I've been doing a buddy read with my good friend Patrice over at her channel, 2 Minutes on Books. And we've been reading, oh no, what's the name of it? It's a book about 4 women spies during the Civil War. I'm going to be talking about it on my Saturday afternoon Friday Reads video with Peg over at the History Shelf. Go check that out on Saturday. And I'm going to be talking about that book. Excellent book. I've been reading that with Patrice. And anyway, long story short, I've had, the role of the female during the Civil War. And I found another one of those kind of books when I was out and about. And it says Courageous Women of the Civil War, Soldiers, Spies, Medics, and More by M.R. Cordell. This is from it looks like a book series, Women of Action. And so I was really looking forward to, digging into this because I think it's going to go hand in hand with what we're reading together. Uh-oh, my painting's falling. Well, my daughter's been making paintings for me, so we'll have to try again with that one in another video. But anyway, this is from the Chicago Review Press, and it is a 2016 book. And it says, at the outbreak of the Civil War, nearly everybody was caught up in patriotic fervor. Men and women, Union and Confederate. Many women supported soldiers through knitting and sewing needed items, growing food, making bandages, gathering medical supplies, and more. But others wished they could be closer to the fight. These women defied society's expectations and bravely chose to take on more dangerous, unconventional roles. Courageous Women of the Civil War reveals the exploits of 16 of these remarkable women who served as medics, spies, battlefield helpers, and even soldiers on the front lines. Meet fascinating figures such as Maria Lewis, a former slave who fought with the Union cavalry as it swept through Virginia. Disguised as white male soldier, she put the fear of hell into the Confederate enemies. Katie Brownell supported her husband's Rhode Island regiment as a vivandier, I'm not sure how to say that word, sorry, training with the soldiers, fighting in battle and helping the injured. Mary Carroll, a Missouri rebel, forged a copy of a jail cell key to break her brother out before his scheduled execution. These and other little-known stories are told through gripping narrative, primary source documents, and contextualizing sidebars. Civil War history is woven through offering readers a clear overview of the era and the war, also including numerous historic photos, source notes, and a bibliography. Courageous Women of the Civil War is an invaluable resource for any students or history buffs bookshelf. And just looking forward to that. The author, M.R. Cordell, earned a master's in writing for children from Hamline University. She was contributed to Cicada, Cricket, Highlights, Read, the Horn book, and more. She lives in Northwest Missouri. So I'd be kind of curious. I might have to look her up because that's where I'm from, is Northwest Missouri. So interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that. It should be a good companion novel with that book I'm reading with Patrice. The next one, I saw this and I knew I had to have it. So a couple of years ago on the, let's see, what year would that have been? Would it have been last year? Maybe it was last year. World War November. We did a little reading event, World War November, and it was, celebrating World War One. And we did that it was a kind of a group reading event, and we did some videos together. And anyway, it had sparked my World War One reading, and I've been trying to build up like this middle section, these three shelves here. Can't see the third shelf, but these three shelves are nothing but World War One things, and I've been trying to build up my World War One collection. And so I saw this and I had to have it. It's No Man's Land, Fiction from a World at War, 1914 to 1918. And it says, it's edited by Pete Ayrton, and featuring Siegfried Sassoon, William Faulkner, Eric Maria Remarque, D.H. Lawrence, Willa Cather, John Galsworthy, Frederick Manning, and many more. So most of those names I'm pretty familiar with, and but I have not read a bunch of them. I know the names, but I haven't read their works. And then who can resist a World War One cover like that? I thought that was pretty awesome cover. So this is just basically a collected works of many World War One era authors. The back says, from the trenches to the home front, the most profound fiction inspired by World War I, and a moving memorial to the 20th century's most cataclysmic event. The Great War gave birth to some of the 20th century's most celebrated writing. From D.H. Lawrence to Siegfried Sassoon, the literature generated by the war is etched into collective memory. But it is in fiction that we find some of the most profound insight into the war's individual and communal tragedies, the horror of life in the trenches, and the grand farce of the First Industrial War. Featuring 47 writers from 20 different nations, representing all the main participants in the conflict, No Man's Land is a truly international anthology of World War I fiction. Work by Eric Maria Remarque, Willa Cather, William Faulkner, Rose Macaulay, sits alongside forgotten masterpieces such as Stratus, Muravillis, Life in the Tomb, Raymond, Escaliers, Mamadou Fofana, and I apologize for, I know I'm not saying these right. I'm doing my best, BookTube. And Mary Borden's The Forbidden Zone. No Man's Land is a brilliant memorial to the 20th century's most cataclysmic event. So real excited to see this. It is, the only thing I'm worried about with it is that you can see the spine. I'm going to have to be careful when I read it so it doesn't totally crack in half. But I thought, for $1, it was worth the gamble of the spine. Pegasus Books is who put it out, distributed by W.W. Norton, and this is from the year 2014. So I'm really looking forward to reading on this. I think it's going to be a good one, and it'll look real good with all my other World War I stuff. All right, so my next one, and you have to forgive me. I've got a problem with I forgot to peel off stickers before I did this. I hate stickers on books. Luckily, these are coming off really easy. They're just little ones, but I hate stickers on books. But anyway, this is another paperback, and it is I consider it rough. shape. It's been well loved is what my guess is here. But it was one that's going to be, I'm going to call this a placeholder. I have some other Edward Rutherfurd books in my collection. I have his book, let's see, I got them right down there. I got London, I got Ruska, I've got New York somewhere. New York is somewhere up there. I don't know where it's at. Anyway, I've got at least 3 of them. I can't remember if I got any more, but I did not have Paris. And basically these are, I mean, you can see the size of the book. It's huge. These are sprawling historical fiction books. This one is 809 pages. Some of those others are, I want to say they're bigger than that, but anyway, 800, that's a mammoth. So you've got mammoth histories here, or historical fiction, and he likes to take one city and do basically the history of the city through a couple of different families that are tied together, just like normal historical fiction would do. And I absolutely love his works. Of those 3 that I named, I've read New York. I had started London, but I had to put it down, and I have not read Ruska. So I'm looking forward to going back to London and getting going on that. That's probably going to be part of my summer projects. But I was real happy to find this just for a couple bucks as a placeholder. And you can see the spine when you open it. It gets real floppy. So I don't know how much it's going to be able to hold up to a read. Oh, I'm looking on the back here. He had another one, Serum, and I had that at one time. I don't know if I still do. I may have gotten rid of that one, but I had that one also. But anyway, sorry. It says, inspired by the haunting, passionate story of the City of Lights, this epic novel weaves a gripping tale of 4 families across the centuries. From the lies that spawn the noble line of the Designy to the revolutionary Lassones, who seek their destruction, from the Blanchards, whose burgesy respectability offers scant protection against scandal to the hardworking Gascons and their roaring ambitions. The story of Paris bursts to life in the intrigue, corruption, and glory of its people. Beloved author Edward Rutherfurd illuminates Paris as only he can, capturing the romance and everyday drama of the men and women who, in 2,000 years, transformed a humble trading post on the muddy banks of the Seine into the most celebrated city in the world. And got a really cool back cover also. But this book was published by Hodder and Stoughton, and let's see, it was 2013. So again, a big sprawling novel. Gotta love those. He also did, let's see, which one of those? I actually have some other books by him too, now that I'm sitting here looking at his list. The Forest I have somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but I have it somewhere. And then Ireland Awakening, I think, is the other one I have. I just got that one recently. I had it sitting right up there, I thought. Where did it go? Yep, right there. Or The Princes of Ireland. Excuse me, that's what I have. So yeah, this is... Sorry, I'm rambling again. This goes with my Edward Rutherfurd collection. Awesome author. Love his stuff. Very entertaining. Next one on the stack. Here's some nonfiction for you. Civil War stuff. So Peg in one of her book hauls said she's the resident expert on Civil War. Well, I'm the resident novice. I can't be the expert because she's done a lot more reading than I have. But I am the layman historian, there we go, of the Civil War. I've got a lot of Civil War books. I love reading about the Civil War. So this one just goes right in with my collection. And this is from a series called The Generals. And this one's on Sherman, the Ruthless Victor, by Augustino von Hassel and Ed Breslin. This is from Stephen Mansfeld series. He's the editor of the series. It's from Thomas Nelson Publishers. It is 2011 book, so it's a little bit older, but it's a whole series on nothing but generals, and I'm going to hang on a second here. So also in this series, that's, like I said, the editor, Stephen Mansfeld, there's one on Robert E. Lee, MacArthur, Patton, Washington, and Pershing. So those are the other ones that are on the back cover here. I wouldn't mind having those. That's a pretty good series of books right there. But if I see them, I'll pick them up. That's for sure. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to read this one to you. This is, I mean, it's all about William Sherman during the Civil War. And, they actually start out, as he famously said, war is hell. Yeah, that's about the long and short of it. And he definitely, during the Civil War, brought some destruction to some of the areas that he had to go through. And what he says, war is hell, that's about what it is. So anyway, looking forward to reading that one. So those of you that have been on the channel for a while, you know that I like mysteries, and I like cozy mysteries. Those are fun. They're not too complicated. I got a whole bunch of Agatha Christie up here. Got a ton of those. I like those type also, but there's nothing better than just settling in for an afternoon, like a rainy afternoon with a cozy mystery. It makes the afternoon go by. It's entertaining and not too difficult on the mind. Well, this one, I have a couple of these in my collection. This is Mrs. Jeffries in the Midwinter Murders. It's a Victorian mystery by Emily Brightwell. She's got a whole series of these. There's a bunch of them, and I've got a handful of them. I've read one of them so far, and I enjoyed it. So each time I see it, I've been picking them up. So this is from Berkeley Prime Crime out of New York, and this particular one is a 2021 novel. I'll read the inside to you. Mrs. Jeffries and Inspector Witherspoon should be checking off their Christmas lists, but instead they're listing murder suspects. 'Tis the season for murder. Harriet Andover was a smart businesswoman who did not suffer fools gladly, yet somehow her house was full of them. With a husband who has no head for money and 2 grown stepchildren who would rather do anything other than an honest day's work, Harriet had every intention of righting the ship and putting her family back on the path to respectability. But she soon discovers that the best intentions can lead to murder when she is strangled inside her mansion filled with holiday guests. It would seem that everyone present had a motive to kill the rich woman, and no one is being quite honest regarding their whereabouts at the time of the murder. And to put the icing on the Christmas cookies, the room where Harriet's body was found was locked from the inside, and she had the key in her pocket. The case grows more complicated with each passing hour, and solving it before Christmas is starting to look like a Yuletide dream. But Mrs. Jeffries and the household have no intention of letting Inspector Witherspoon down, and soon mine valuable evidence from the depths of Harriet's past. As the clues mount, this dedicated band of merry sleuths will not rest until they've delivered a stocking full of coal to a crafty killer. And yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a fun one. Good Christmas mystery. I'll probably read it before Christmas, but just to show you the Mrs. Jeffries list of books, there is a bunch. And like I said, I've read one of them. I can't remember which one it was I read. I'd have to go back on my shelves and look for it, but I did enjoy it, and that's why I've bought these. I thought they're a lot of fun. So enough with the fiction. Let's go back to nonfiction. Let's go back to history. Let's go back to my specialty, the Civil War. I was real happy to find this. This is First Blood, the story of Fort Sumter by W.A. Swanberg. So I have been collecting, for my at-home collection, I've been trying to, put history books together on various battles that happened throughout the Civil War so that I can, kind of have a complete collection of everything and get a broad view, a broad in-depth view of everything. Broad meaning all of the battles, in depth about each one. But I did not have much on Fort Sumter, and so I was glad to pick this up. It's an older title. It is, let's see, 1957. So this one's got some age to it, and I did have to when I found it, I was excited to find it, but as you can see, the cover was in terrible shape, and so I went, and you can see how shiny it is. I went and fixed it all up, and I put some paper back behind it to try to keep it from crumbling, just trying to preserve it a little bit, or my way of preserving it. If you'd have seen it when I got it, it wasn't worth a whole lot. And this is also a Book of the Month Club book, so it's it's not going to be something that's going to have a ton of value to it. But anyway, a little bit older, 1957. And it's all about, I don't think I probably need to read it to you. It's all about the Battle of Fort Sumter and all the decision-making that went into that. And so I was happy to have that. And the last book that I got for you today that I picked up, and this is more probably nostalgic. I got this one out of nostalgia. Back when I was in high school, one of my favorite teachers was Mr. Kenneth Richley. Now, he was kind of an old codger who most of the students honestly probably didn't like being in his class, and he would really play up to you if you showed an interest in stuff. And history and geography, that was always my cup of tea. And he took a little bit of a liking to me and a couple of my buddies, and we took his geography class. And I think there were 4 or 5 people in the whole class. It was a tiny class. It was one of the electives, and so me and one of my good friends who recently passed away, Ryan Vassett, we took his class, and we would get his work done, and then see how he would do his class is he would do packets, and you'd have to find the stuff in the book, and you'd have to go searching for various things. So he always had these packets made up, and everybody hated the packets. I didn't mind them. I am somebody who likes to know what I'm going to be doing from minute to minute. And so I kind of had an idea, when we go in his class, we're going to sit down, we're going to do this, and then we're going to get into our packets. Once you got your packet done, and oftentimes if you put your nose to the grindstone, you could get done with your stuff fairly quickly and have some spare time. And one of the things we like to do, and he would allow us, is we'd go exploring various areas of the world. And now, back in that time period, the internet really wasn't going yet, it was there, but we weren't using it in the classroom yet. I'm just old enough that wasn't happening yet. And so we would use, like the encyclopedias, and he had some other stuff. And then he had this whole plastic tub full of VHS tapes on, geography stuff and different movies and things. And so we would, Ryan and I would pick out different places we would like to go to and visit in the world. And so he had his places where he liked to go, and I had my places. And one of mine was always thinking about, visiting some of the Pacific Islands. And we had this fascination with that for whatever reason. Australia was on the list, and funny thing is, when we were in high school, he started going on mission trips. He was really big in the church, and so he did a whole series of mission trips every summer to the Philippines. And so he actually got to go to some of these places that we were dreaming about going. His dream came true, and so I always thought that was really, really neat. And so anyway, I've always loved geography. I've loved learning about, like the physical layout, but also the people that live there and the cultures and stuff like that. It's just very interesting to me. So let me quit giving you the backstory. But I saw this great big old coffee table book on the Pacific Islands and the myths and wonders of the Southern Seas. And so I was hooked as soon as I saw it. I told my wife, I got to go back and get that. And so, chock full of pictures and stuff of the physical layout, the peoples that are there. And it just goes all over the Southern Pacific. And I'm just real excited to have this. This is by Marco Moretti. And the book is, White Star Publishers. And it was published in the year if I can find it. These big books can sometimes be hard to find. Okay, this one is 2004, it looks like. But anyway, I was just real excited to have this. I thought it was kind of neat because even now as an adult, I still daydream about, man, it'd be kind of cool to go out to Easter Island and live on Easter Island out in the middle of nowhere with nobody to bother me. You know, I daydream about that kind of stuff sometimes, and so it's kind of nice to have this to put pictures to it, and again, just for nostalgia's sake. Again, that real good friend and that teacher, for that matter, they both passed away, and so it just brings back good memories. But anyway, that's the last of what I got for you in this stack of books. These are the newest ones to come in. I got to get them shelved and put in the right place. So that's what I plan on doing. I think I'm going to make one more video and call it good for today. So question is, book 2, what have you gotten into your libraries recently? What are you reading? Anything good? Anything you want to tell me about that I need to be on the lookout for? Let me know down in the comments section. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. And thank you for spending, almost another half hour with me. So, yeah, until next time, happy reading.